big is happening. Amanda Staveley, the woman behind the Manchester City takeover, the architect behind Newcastle United's rebirth. She has finally spoken about rumours linking her to a move for West Ham United. Her answer, I don't believe, was a denial. In fact, I believe it's the most intriguing response that she could have given. So stick with me, because what she said and what it means could reshape the entire future of our football club. So this last season and even into the pre-season last season, I think it's fair to say, has been fairly chaotic, resulting in our relegation from the Premier League into the EFL Championship. David Sullivan, subsequent to our relegation, stepped down as joint chair and as a director at the club after it became apparent there were going to be serious historic allegations made against him in the media. The end result of that is that, once again, we're in a little bit of a state of flux. Whilst this is all going on, Daniel Kretinsky has quietly increased his shareholding. This will shortly be ratified, and he will go to owning 43% of the equity in West Ham United, thereby making him the largest single shareholder within the club. Now, he is also aligned with that already, within 2 weeks of becoming chairman himself, pushing ahead with major plans for London Stadium, which include removing the running track. But whilst this is all going on, another name is parachuted down into the conversation: the aforementioned Amanda Staveley. Now, you might be asking the question, who is Amanda Staveley? Well, she helped to orchestrate the Manchester City takeover, which resulted in Sheikh Mansour taking control of the club. She was also the driving force behind Newcastle United's transformation into the PIF era. Now, she brings serious investors together. She doesn't just spend her own money. And after leaving Newcastle United, she's been linked with several major clubs and Tottenham Hotspur. But nothing happened there. But now, her attention seems to be shifting from North London to East London, and specifically to West Ham United. Now, quick one before we go any deeper. If you're enjoying this and want more transfer stories, takeover updates, any West Ham insights, you've got a QR code in the top left. Scan that. That will take you to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share this on your social media platforms. Drop a comment in the section below. These are all things to help keep growing the channel. Thanks very much for your support. So let's get back to it. Amanda Staveley was asked a question directly by Spears. Are you considering a move for West Ham? Her response, maybe. I don't know. And then she added, we're attracted to taking a brand that isn't doing so well and getting it on the right road. She even said that there are very few clubs where that model works. Now, if you watched a video that I did the other day, you'll remember that I said that David Sullivan is very unlikely to sell his shares in West Ham, which currently are 38.8% of the equity in the club. He's very unlikely to sell that to Daniel Kretinsky. However, there's every likelihood he could sell to Amanda Staveley. Now, this interview that she's done only strengthens that theory, in my view. Before we talk about what she could offer to West Ham, though, you also need to understand what Staveley actually did at Newcastle, because this is where the blueprint becomes quite clear. When she arrived in 2021, Newcastle United were a mess. They were bottom of the league. They had no structure. They had no modern recruitment. They had no commercial strategy. And they were a club drifting into the ether under the ownership of Mike Ashley. Now, Amanda Staveley didn't just bring the Saudi PIF money. She brought organisation. She installed a proper executive structure. She modernised the recruitment department. She pushed for long-term planning instead of panic buys. She oversaw the appointment of Eddie Howe, which was a decision that many mocked at the time, but one that completely changed the club's trajectory. She also fronted the media. She took the pressure. She communicated with the fans. She became the face of the project, even though she wasn't the majority owner. And here's the key part. She made Newcastle feel like a club with direction again. Not just money, direction. And that is exactly what we've been missing. So why does West Ham fit Amanda Staveley's model? A couple of reasons, really. Number one, huge stadium, huge potential. London Stadium, like our club, is massive, but it's also massively underutilised. Tottenham Hotspur, to their credit, turned their stadium into a revenue-making machine. We are miles behind them in that department. The commercial side of this club has been so undercooked at times, you could pour custard over it and call it a dessert. The second thing is commercial growth. Newcastle United exploded commercially after their takeover. Amanda Staveley knows how to build that. The third thing is recruitment problems. We've had big fees wasted, no long-term plan, but Amanda Staveley will bring structure and investment. And the fourth thing is an investor network. Amanda Staveley will bring wealthy investors together. That means more capital for transfers, infrastructure, and long-term growth. And as I said before, Daniel Kretinsky would quite happily let Amanda Staveley be the face of the club. He is a behind-the-scenes operator. She's a communicator. Perfect match. So what does this mean for transfers? Will we spend like Newcastle United or even Manchester City? And the answer to that is no. Well, not immediately in any case. Squad cost ratio rules mean, as I understand them, that we must first increase our revenue. But Amanda Staveley knows exactly how to do that. She's done it twice already. This isn't about throwing money around. It's about building a sustainable, competitive football club. So what happens next? Well, the noise around Amanda Staveley isn't going anywhere. Now, her comments were, I believe, quite deliberate. She didn't deny interest. And she practically described West Ham in her answer. Meanwhile, David Sullivan's position at the club is significantly weakened from where it was 2 weeks ago. Daniel Kretinsky, on the other hand, is and has strengthened his position. But the club is still at something of a crossroads after our relegation. And this is usually the type of moment where either new ownership or at the very least new investment usually can step in. So will Amanda Staveley make her move? Or is she waiting for the perfect moment when the club's value is low and the upside is huge? So what do you think? Would you welcome Amanda Staveley leading a new era at this club? And do you think David Sullivan would sell to her over Daniel Kretinsky? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to try and keep an eye out for all of them. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown, you've got in the top left-hand corner, you've got the QR code. So scan that. That will take you to the YouTube channel where you can subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, hit like and share this onto your social media platforms. And don't forget, as I say, put a comment in the section below. There's more to come. We'll see you again soon. Come on, you Irons.